Do 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 do. Putting down some tokens 'cause I wasn't ready. Do do. Clatter DuPont, do me a favor, and under biography
Oh no.
on your character sheet, there's your character's name, and then there's that blue bar. Way towards the right side, the second to the last emblem is biography. Scroll down on that page, and under enemies, can you write number 2?
Oh. Oh no, there's an enemies tab.
Number two?
Number 2, and then in parentheses, just put +1.
Your numbers 2 now have a +1.
That's just how much they hate you.
You're gonna get stressed from a stress ball, my friend.
The DC was 20 to notice the fucking glare from from the one latching onto him. He's just like, oh, you gotta rest sometime, motherfucker. I watched you casting those spells. I'll be there. Like, I'm the favorite is what they're thinking. They just have to stop latching on to mom long enough to do something about it. We'll see how much.
He's coming after you
How much. But none of you noticed this.
Nope.
Mom got a beautiful gift. She's overjoyed. She puts it on right away, and she's like, "I'm gonna be the talk of the town." I believe we did constitute this as a short rest. I will allow you to regain 1 HP. Do you guys what do
Don't
you guys
need the HP,
do?
I need my spell slot.
Yeah, that is gonna need 8 hours of long rest. You guys did make mention that you wanted to move along to that town. Do you want to do that?
Yeah. Clatter stays in the cart. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm getting out of this. Fuck that, I ain't walking.
That was actually going to be my next question. You stay in the cart. How do you guys plan on traveling? Does anybody have the front? Anybody got the back? Are you all going in the cart? Paint me a
Taking
picture.
the front. I'm gonna lead the charge the entire time. Don't know why, but I do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna also walk, but I'll probably walk just behind everybody. Tammy.
Okay, I like it.
Cover the
You know what
six.
I'm going to
Nice.
do? I'm going to implement a new rule because I've decided I don't necessarily want to be the bad guy as the DM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you all roll me a d20. Just a flat roll with the dice calculator. If any of you rolls a 1, then you will not get to that place without an encounter. If none of you roll a 1, then you get there perfectly fine.
That was
No
almost
issues.
a 1. A 19.
That was almost a 1.
Yeah, it literally like stopped on a 1 and then fell over to a 9. I was like, oh.
That's 2 1s.
Oh, I
no!
rolled 2 1s.
No!
Oh no, that's 2 encounters.
No!
I'm just kidding.
I mean, yes, encounters are cool.
so
Why
funny.
not?
That's funny.
Could Gil be seeking out a fight? He's just like, come on, I need to kill something. I don't know why I want to see red.
You guys do make it to this cutie village. Let me
make it to the village unmolested, and Gil is like, damn it! I turn around looking for blood.
I'm gonna put your tokens on there, but I'm gonna make your tokens invisible. Because it's just, well, I guess I don't have to. But just more like a area map. I believe you guys should have full view of it. I'm gonna triple check that. Okay, cool. You guys make it to Snowside. Snowside is a bustling village, but what you notice first is just outside of these shores starts a rather large. As you get closer and closer to the town, you notice that that city beyond that town, the one you're walking to, Snowside, Frostcrest City, seems to be a part of like a giant wall. I want you to semi-imagine that giant ice wall from Game of Thrones, as it acts similarly in being a giant wall of rock and ice. This was made with magic similar, but they used more than just ice to build this wall. There's stone.
Is supposed to be.
I'm sorry?
I didn't realize I wasn't muted.
That's okay. Yeah, basically, it has a lot of stone inlay to it. More than magic was put into this wall, and it seems to be a wall between a couple of forests.
And I do an Arcana check.
You sure can.
Sweet.
I will take Arcana or History if anybody wants to roll to know about Verlaka. Oh wait, you guys said fuck the bards. All right. But well,
that was a joke.
Well, not fuck the bards, but you were saying, were you saying that it was a joke? You want the bards to tell the story, or were you saying that you wanted your mom to tell you about Verlaka?
It would have been cool if she did tell us during that rest, but we could still go to the bards. I was just harping back on our other sessions here. It was a joke.
It is a 3-hour walk.
Oh yeah, we would love to hear about it.
You know what I mean? So like, she can definitely cover the bit that she knows about Verlaka. But what
anyways, right?
Clatter, what Clatter knows with Arcana
Where's history?
is, well, I said that I would take Arcana or History to know about. Then just Arcana. Society? I believe that is one of the.
Okay.
I will take Society. Yeah. Yeah, there's people there.
There's people there.
Yeah, there's people there for sure. So, Verlaka, with that Arcana check, something stirs in your mind about Verlaka, and you can instantly tell it's one of those ancient memories that you kind of need to dust off. And actually, you're haunted. So as you guys get into Snowside proper, you don't really have skin that'll get goosebumps, Clatter, but
his ribs rattle.
Yeah, like your spine kind of goes to, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like you guys are walking by a bone xylophone for a second. Like, this place is very unsettling and has angry vibes here, and you are really the only one with that knowledge, because you have that affinity for like that inclination towards the spirit world. This the vibe of this place before you guys actually even talk to anybody or get in there proper is like very unchill. You're like, oh, not great things happened here. Is what I will give you with that Arcana check. But
can I like rack my brain for like an occultism check?
Well, let me tell you what Onuris says, because that might... We can see what roles can be done a little bit after that. So, Onuris is going to delve into the city of Verlaka for you guys, and tells you that long ago, before a couple of great wars for land, skirmishes and whatnot went on, there were these frozen mountains, and in these frozen mountains is a lot of isolation because, it's freezing there. So a lot of evil could dwell here without much leashing or really any onlookers, and it really started to become a problem for the realm. So Verlaka was built. Many came to the call for aid, and sadly, due to the nature of Verlaka, it is in constant need of aid. People came and they were never really able to leave, as they act as a constant barrier to some evils that lie within those frost-tipped mountains to the south of Verlaka. What we're going to is north of Verlaka, to Greenglade, where it's not as cold.
As we continue hearing that, can I 100% do like an occultism check
You absolutely can now.
to know if this is like tied to the occult?
Absolutely. Now that you have, now that you got that, you sure can.
This town we're arriving to is Snowside or Green Glade?
Oh, it was almost a nat 20.
Well, right now you have arrived in Snowside.
Okay, I just checking.
But beyond the borders, in fact, Onuris says, you know what, let me get this out. And she kind of lowers her hands wait, did I put you on the map, babe? Yeah,
No,
I
the
did.
map is white.
Okay. What do you mean the map is white?
The map is white.
You can't see anything?
No, it's a white screen.
Oh,
Okay.
refresh, buddy.
All right. Terribly sorry about that. All right. I can close that note. So that is what, as a recap, Onuris tells you guys that a while ago there was a bunch of bad mamma-jammas that were going on in the Frostbitten Mountains south of the Verlaken Wall, which is why people banded together to build the Verlaka Wall. The only downside is the constant manpower to keep it manned. So she informs you that, similar to Game of Thrones, a lot of ne'er-do-wells end up here. When out past the wall, there's many great cities, villages, kingdoms galore that I hope you go get to see. And I'm sorry I'm not using her accent right now. I just want to get points across. But she states that each has their own set of rules. Now, within these rules, well, to go along with these rules are laws, and should those laws be broken, means that you have to suffer the consequences of the actions, if you're caught anyway, to whatever kingdom, city you reside in. Normally, the punishments are a fine, jail time, but if they don't have the dungeon space for you, or they simply don't want you to take up their dungeon space, they'll send you to the wall, which is Verlaka. You will be sent here to basically do community service and serve out your time. The penalty for abandoning your post and trying to leave Verlaka is death. So those trying to flee their post and abandon their time get a bounty put on their head, and dependent on the severity of the crime, who you are, there's many factors, will go into how high your bounty will be.
So what I'm hearing is there's people that have left the wall, and people will give us more of these coin stuff for finding
Yep,
them.
that's money. That is currency. Yes. You could definitely become bounty hunters. There are many people that leave their posts from Verlaka because they simply don't. It is very dangerous work. Some people don't live to see the end of their term before they get to go back to being free. Some do die on duty. Living to the end of your punishment isn't a guarantee.
Should we get out of the cold?
I've heard.
Amanda says yes, and you guys move onward to. Let me pull up a bar. Pull up somewhere cozy. Son of a bitch. Did I not? Oh, I had that was question. Okay. You guys find an inn. Well, Onuris kind of steers that way and points to Gil, who's leading to the hanging sign covered in ice, so that she can. She says, "Oh, excuse me." She says that the snow is picking up and it's getting late. So I'm going to get a room. I'm going to rest, and I'll use the room to lock up my cart so I can just kind of hang out in the room. She gives you each one gold piece and says, "Don't be naughty, but feel free to explore, talk to people. I'm sorry I don't have tokens out. You'd think I'd be more prepared, but womp, 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 womp. We'll put one of those out, and we'll put a couple people here." But she says that she's just going to get a room to lock up her stuff, and you guys can enjoy your time together, hang out. You have a life. Live it. Love it. I'm going to put my feet up about it. It was quite taxing bringing you all to life and then talking to the dead, all that walking. I'm going to rest my rocks. And with that, she will get a room. You all have a room key. If you want, you can add it to your inventory, but she makes sure you all have a copy. And if you want to join her, you can. Otherwise, feel free to commence roleplay. I'm just moving her on along so you guys can hang out amongst yourselves, really.
I go up to the group and I say, "All right, I'm gonna go get us a bounty." And then I go into the center of the room and I say, "All right, who in here has a bounty on their head?" And I wait for the first person to move.
I guess you can roll me perception for the first person to move, because you just yelling is going to cause people to move.
Well, no, yeah, first person to move away from me, thinking I'm a bounty hunter. Whoever is the skittish, the most skittish person in this room, natural, dirty 20.
Okay.
There doesn't have to be anyone with a bounty in here. Everyone could be on the up and up, you know?
Dirty 20. Somebody does look a little unnerved. I wouldn't say frightened per se, but with the 20, they do look like, what who's talks like that? But he only has that look in his eye for like a split second before he's like, wait, who the fuck is that? Like, what who talks like that? What? Whoa.
I go to them.
The bartender asks you, buddy, and he points to the other side of the bar, to a sign that says the community board. He says, I'll put up some boxes for you so you can read that, but don't just come in here and ask who's got a bounty on them. Nobody's gonna... What are you, crazy? He says that as he goes to put up a box or two to a wall. If you guys choose to look at the community board for quests, let me know. I will pull you to that screen. But you walk up to the one of the people who we'll say it's that one directly across from you that
This one
kind of has like that, that kind of has that like that had that look in its eye for a split second.
I lean on my sword and I say, hey buddy, what's the crime?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know you. It's a human male about mid-20s at best, like doesn't have a wrinkle on his face yet, and what he's wearing is, how do I put this? I want to say like unseasoned. Like he looks new. The leather still has doesn't have like creases fully yet. Like it looks new. You know what I mean? But it almost looks like he's kind of fresh off the chopping block. If it wasn't for like some like dirt, you know what I mean? Like he probably has been sleeping in that armor for like a little bit and does his best to like wash it regularly, but he doesn't use magic to wash it regularly. But it's not like super worn or like broken in yet, if that makes sense.
Okay. I will.
He's just, he doesn't know what you're talking about.
I will just say, So, was it some light abducting? Maybe some breaking and entering? Did you evade taxes? Listen, whatever it is, just know there's some new bounty hounders around, all right? And then I go to the board to check out on it, and I hope that he's sufficiently nervous.
Immediately walk up and kind of try to push Gil out of the way and be like, I do apologize for his brutish nature, but as he has said, yes, we are looking for bounty. And then Clatter will immediately see the dirt and be like, oh dear Jesus, and prestidigitation him and clean it and be like, God, man, clean yourself. Anyway, we do search for bounties. Yes, he is a little brutish, but you don't seem to be that type, are you?
No, I don't know any of these people. What even is that possessed doll thing? I've never even seen one of those in my life. And he looks to the other people at the bar and he's like, I don't know them.
Clatter immediately will be like, oh, my apologies. Yes, hold on. Where are my manners? He'll take his top hat off with his left hand and put it to his chest and stick his bony hand out and be like, I'm Clatter DuPont. Nice to meet you. Don't touch me.
Why would you hold your hand out?
Okay.
Clatter's trying to give the nice to meet you, but as soon as his hand comes forward, he's like,
that's exactly kind of what he would do. He would be like, okay, and kind of hesitantly go to do a handshake, but then you're like, don't touch me. He's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go back to my drink now. Good luck with your bounty hunting. And he turns and your not dexterity, your persuasion checks are going to have to be kind of high because he's going to flat out, like, his hand is up and he is doing his from now on until something changes that. He's going to be doing his best to flat out ignore Poppets.
Yes, excellent. You won't see us coming when we catch you doing whatever you do that's horrible in the shadows.
Those of you who wanted to check out the community quest board, say aye.
I will.
Then I will just activate it and pull you all there.
Cool. I am trying to read something here first.
Going to...
Let's say we have a couple gold pieces for the capture of Clatter, I point. I literally point to the bones that are in the picture.
And Clatter will kind of like look at the picture, look at Gil, look at the picture, and go, "This thing is not as proper as I am. That thing deserves whatever it is going to."
What thing?
There's not a full description for each bounty that's up, but that is so funny. I'm gonna kind of leave it now. I was gonna go into more depth if you guys were like, "Oh, that one," but you know what? That's good. That's good.
And like, Clatter will kind of look at the board and go, "God, all of these are just grotesque and just..."
Okay. The Great Goblin Group takes the job. 100 gold pieces if we bring back the backpacking spider. Okay. Discreet and kind-hearted people needed. What are you guys thinking?
If there's any quests we can do out of character talking about them, since I think he might have lost internet.
Oh no.
Or maybe his computer died, he dropped out.
Yeah.
But what we can do is we can take a look at the quests, and if there's any more information you would like about it, there is more information for these quests. It's just that I wanted to make them legible so that you can just kind of scroll in a little bit and read them. But if I were to put in a bunch of text, it would be a little too difficult to give you that feel that you're just standing there and reading it.
No, it makes sense. Plus I wrote down the ones that I want, and if I really needed the whole thing, I could have just taken a picture. Not my character.
For sure.
Me. My character does not have access to cameras yet. Is Pathfinder? I did say yet.
Well, was there any quests that you wanted more information on that are tickling your fancy?
I have written down the monster parts information if we come across it. The only things that would make sense to talk to anybody about was the Goblin Group, but I don't know if anybody wants to do that. But it would be good to get that 100 gold pieces from this bounty alive spider, or 25 if that, for the group, I think would be good.
Okay, so a little more information on the monster parts wanted. You go to read that one a little bit, and it's more so to give a diverse menu to the people of this and the neighboring town. Otherwise, they are pretty much stuck with like venison, rabbit, squirrel, just regular game. Whereas this food would like last them a while, but it is a little exotic to this area, so you would have to do a little bit of hunting for those. What was the next one you said?
The other things that I'd look at was the Kiara is seeking discreet and kind-hearted help.
That one's easy. Kiara, it has her address attached to it, so you will have that information on how to find her and that she's just seeking some help with some stuff.
And then the other thing is the lost traveler, keeping an eye out for what seems to be a lost traveler. But there may not be enough information for me, so I might have to talk to someone.
Okay.
But other than that,
which one? I'm sorry, you said the spider?
The lost traveler. Yes, the spider is the one that we'll be looking for more than anything else because it's the highest price point. And correct me if I'm wrong, Morris. Would that be something that we would?
No, I'm done.
Yeah,
that sounds like a great plan.
It's the highest value thing here. I mean, we might as well shoot for the moon. How big could a spider be? You just got to bring it back, alive or dead. I could drag it. I continue to drag my coins.
Okay. Where did I put it?
Hopefully there's a bank system in Pathfinder, because if not, I'm in trouble as a Poppet. What the hell? The 100 gold pieces is not... We won't even be able to lift that.
There's that one.
I really hope that ice cream truck is not picked up by the recording.
Take a look at this. We'll take a short... What if we took a short, like, 5-ish minute break?
Yeah.
Did he say that he's gonna come back? Like, just because it's like down to 2 players, what I'll do is I'll write down some notes and send them. I'll put them in like the in-character shareable notes section, and give you information on each of those tasks. What I was looking for, I didn't realize that I didn't have all of the maps uploaded into this VTT for some of these quests. So I was like, oh shit, what if they decide to do this one first? Oh my god, I don't have anything for that. I should probably...
Well, I mean, is Jeff gonna get back on?
That's the thing. I don't know. I hit him. I hit him up. I was like, I hit him. I said, hey, question mark, you okay? You coming back?
Yeah, he probably just got disconnected from service.
So that's why I was like,
yeah, we should just end it here, unless you have something short for the two of us, then there's not a problem. And again,
it was really,
if you're planning on taking a break, we might as well stop.
Yeah, we can definitely take a break. We'll call it here. What I'll do then, and that'll give me time to upload those maps and stuff like that, get you guys ready and rocking and rolling for next time. And what I'll do is I'll post this picture in the notes. What was the name of this quest board?
Look, I timed you. This is a 3-hour and 52-minute session 0. That's impossible. Never heard of that.
That's impossible? Well, we were at the beginning learning a whole ass...
I did not record any of that.
New system, you know what I mean? You didn't record any of that?
I didn't record anything that wasn't a game.
Oh, wow. We're good. Do, 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 do. Putting down some tokens 'cause I wasn't ready.